This video is about the truth and the solution to it. Everybody's always complaining and saying, what's the solution? What can we do? You've told us all this. It's all talk. Where's the action and everything else? So now you get the talk and you get the action, and the solution is going to be put firmly in your hands, and it cannot be stopped by any loudmouth, lying, treasonous politician, lawyer, or anybody else who thinks they have the right to override the people. Now, on the 9th of July 1900, this was put in place by proclamation of Queen Victoria. This is the Commonwealth Constitution Act 1900 UK, which is an enabling act, enables we the people to have a constitution. It's contained in here. This is the true interpretation of that constitution by the people who put it together, not by the people like Ann Toomey, politicians and all the smart alecks that know everything about the laws of this country, because you know 3/5 of nothing, or you're concealing it, the latter being the case, I believe. Now, that's all I'm going to say about that. What I'm going to say is I'm going to tell you first the truth. The truth is there is no lawful state constitution in place at this time. They've all been butchered, removed, lied about, and the politicians decided they have all this authority. All lies. I've explained in detail how without the 6 lawful states, which we do not have, we don't have any, we cannot have a federal parliament. Every election must be done state by state on a writ issued to the governor of the states by a lawful governor general, which we don't have. You're all filthy, lying traitors, a lot of yous. Every public servant must swear the oath of allegiance before taking their oath of office or position in our public service. Fact. Anything else is a lie, treason and fraud. Whether you like it or not, that's a fact. Every politician, before taking their seat in Parliament, whether it be for the Legislative Assembly or the Senate, you must swear that oath, or it's treason. Does it apply to states? Yes. The states are created under 107, 108 and 109, draw their authority referentially from this constitution, ours, no one else's, not the green piece of garbage and the lies hooked into it. I'm sick. I'm not sick, I tell you. I'm perfectly healthy, so I won't use that expression. I get peeved off with listening to the nonsense. The fact is, every politician in this country is sitting in blatant treason. They are concealing the treason. They are pedophiles because they're concealing pedophilia. They're concealing treachery, treason to overturn our constitution. Is it a fact? Yes, it is. Is it the truth? Absolutely is. The Parliament's not supreme. Fact. The very essence of federation is that that must be so. I'm not going to quote too much because it's a fact. I've done it before. If you're going to listen, you're going to listen. If you're not, you will never work out what the solution is. But the solution I will give you in a minute, when I finish attacking the liars, frauds, traitors and everything in this country. If you're a public officer, you're a creature of statute. You are not an officer of the Crown. Fact. You cannot be a police officer or anybody without authority unless you swear the oath of allegiance to the Crown. Fact. Anything else is treason and fraud. I don't care who you are or what you think. I'm not quoting from what I think. I'm quoting from what I know after reading our Constitution. That's what I'm quoting from. If you cannot sit and understand the truth in our Constitution, then you're a liar and a fraud. Get out of where you are. You have no right to be there. Our Constitution says follow our customs and beliefs, assimilate into our society, or get out. Bye-bye. Get out. You have to be in this country 5 years before you can apply or even attempt to be a citizen. But you're not a citizen. You, in your way, you're a constitutional one, which is a subject of the reigning monarch. Why? Because we are a self-governing colony of England. Fact. Anything else is treason. We're not a democratic government, democratic society, democratic parliament. That's all treason, fraud and lies. Political party claptrap. There is no preferential voting. More lies, treason and fraud on the people. How many times you have to be told before you sit up, wake up and understand you're lied to? The Parliament's not supreme. The Constitution says so. The Constitution is above both houses of Parliament. You find both of those references on page 676 of our interpretation of our Constitution. Ours. Why? Because we say so. We owe no money to any country outside of this country. Why? Simply because we can borrow against the assets in the ground. We've got trillions of dollars worth of it. Is that evidenced by anything? Yes, absolutely is. The Trans-Australia Railway was built on $1 million created out of the assets of the country, which is the minerals and everything else. At the end of it, it was worth £1 million. At the end of it, it was worth £3 million. So not only did it return the asset to this country, it did it in the 3 times the amount. We don't need to borrow any money. Is there any authority in the Constitution to borrow money from overseas? No, there's not. When you did it, whoever did it committed treason. Did you have permission of the people? No, you didn't. You didn't have a lawful federal parliament to do it. Now, what is proposed by the maggot sitting in our parliament and all you clowns who think you have authority over the people? You are there to govern for the people, not over them. To pass laws for the people, not over them. Both are facts. You've breached that. That's treason. And it's misprision of treason because you're concealing all the things I've just brought to you. You can mouth off at me. You can say what you like. I got thick skin. But I'll tell you the truth. I'm telling you what's going on. You're lying. Can you have digital ID? No, you can't. You added it in 2024. It's invalid. It's against the law. It's an act of treason. You needed our permission. You didn't get it. You didn't get it, so it doesn't exist. Your actions are treason. You didn't ask us. Any outside agreement signed outside this country, with or without your approval, is treason. We need to approve it. We the people. You do not represent us when you sign those things. Are the states supreme? No. Are they sovereign? No. Are there parliaments? No. Any idea they are is treason and treachery. You think you can take everything we got and run this country the way you are, take everything that I've worked for and everybody else has worked for and say, oh, we changed your titles. No, you've got no control over land. You don't purchase the land from any outside entity at all. It's transferred from the ownership, which is God, which is the crown in British law, not the crown of the City of London, which people have put up and said, oh, that's the crown. No, it's not. No, it's not. The crown in the Constitution is God. It is a fact that the monarch is God's representative. The Archbishop of Canterbury heads the Church of England, or did, which is the only church which is lawful in this country. You can have your other religions. The government can't legislate against them, nor can they question them. 116 of the Constitution says so. I don't care what nonsense you want to put up. What I want to tell you is one simple paragraph in this Constitution, and it comes from Mr. O'Connor. The supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority remains with the people. The Parliament are not sovereign or supreme, constitutional fact. So where are we going from here? We don't want your one world government. We don't want the United Nations. We don't want the League of Nations. We don't want any outside agreement of any kind that hurts this country. There is no free trade agreement until you put it to us. Why? Because the Constitution is clear. You collect, up to federation, a lawful federal parliament collects customs and excise. It's designed to safeguard our companies, ours, all our enterprise, everything that we own and work for. Now, chalice real property comes into this country under the 9 clauses of the Constitution. When we purchase land, we purchase it in fee simple. I don't want other people's opinions, thank you. Please get them off here, or don't say them, or just leave them there, or ignore them, because what I'm trying to explain, there is a solution in the Constitution. Political parties are blatant treason. There's a lot of things that are being thrown around by different people, their beliefs of what colour the flag should be, what this should be, what that should be. Stop fighting over nonsensical things. These people that sit in our parliament claim to represent us don't. They have the power to pass laws for the good governance and well-being. Why? Because our Constitution authorises them to do that. Ange Adams, don't refer to me like that. You didn't own the land, nobody did. The Negritos were here before you. There were Nordic races here before the Negritos. In fact, this is history I'm talking about, not the political Aboriginal machine that you're talking about, so keep it out of here. This affects you, and I'm not attacking you as a person. I've seen what you write. I don't like your language. Do not use it on my post, or don't come on it. Your choice. The solution is very, very simple. It's contained in our Constitution. The supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority remains with the people. And the Constitution says, whereas the people, recognising everybody in this country, including the Negritos, some of which are still here. This isn't an attempt to disenfranchise Aboriginal people. Never was, never should be, nor would I. It's to uphold the fact they were here before us, not long. It needs to be investigated and a proper history put in place with facts. So what I propose is there's one solution contained in the Constitution. I've told you twice already. I propose everybody writes a letter. This letter states as follows. If you don't want to listen to me, turn it off and ignore it, but this is the only way we have a lawful right to get rid of the morons that are in our parliament ignoring our law, our Constitution. Everything they pass must be subject to the Constitution, nothing else. Now, my proposed letter is, I, Wayne Kenneth of the Family Glue, living man. You address it to suit you, whoever you want to be. It doesn't matter. You are part of the Commonwealth. You are supreme, sovereign, and the absolute authority remains with you. Now, your letter is, I, and your name, formally rescind any purported vote, preference vote, assumed vote, contract, or any other assumption of authority created by political parties and unlawful politicians. Therefore, my vote does not count. You are not voted in. You are now removed from our parliament. Go back to what I said earlier. Supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority remains with us. Us who? Us the people. All of us. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to word your letter to that, and we need a majority of people to send that to the politicians, or just send it to Canberra for those lovely little specimens to read, and send a copy to King Charles III, King of the England, Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Address him as his title and send it to him. It's his authority that reigns in this country, while we, the people, decide to have a Commonwealth. I do not expect people to lie on here. There is no organisation treaty on health. The World Health Organisation is a lie and it's a fraud. We do not have to say that. Politicians already know we do not want anything to do with the one world system of governance. We have our own. We have our own money in our constitution. We have our own measurements in our constitution. We have our own authority. And if you exercise a power and there is no authority granted by the constitution, it's denied and remains with us. I don't have to prove authority from what I'm doing. Supreme, absolute, and uncontrollable authority remains with the people. I'm telling you that remedy to get rid of the nut jobs who think they've got the right to run this country, regardless of what your political or religious persuasion is, if you haven't conformed with our constitution and all these people coming in against the constitution in its entirety, you are not coming in here as immigrants with instant citizenship. That's a nonsense. There's no citizenship issued by a political party. If you wanted to change the Citizenship Act or the Immigration Act, which it was, backdated in 1948, which negated it, you have to do it lawfully. So go back to what I was saying. The letter should read, I, Wayne Kenneth of Family Glue, living man, replace that with you. Formally and lawfully rescind any purported vote, contract, agreement, or anything else, including preferential voting, to any political party or any member of a purported parliament. When you do that and you sign it, you can get it witnessed by another person, not by a notary, not by a JP or anyone else, only by another subject of Her Majesty, which is everybody in this country. The SSK Trust, all this honour and dishonour garbage is just garbage. We are sovereign, we are supreme, and only what we grant through our constitution is lawful. If it's not granted, it's denied. End of the story. No authority, no power. Constitution's clear. So, Albanese, you are not going to get what you want. And Jacinta Allen, you're going to stand trial for treason. You can't make a treaty with anybody without the will of the people. The people denied it, that's it. You're a filthy, lying traitor. Dirty Dan Andrews, you've got the same problem. So as every premier, every politician that has entered into our parliament and claims supremacy, all this authority which isn't granted by the Constitution. You are filthy, lying traitors. You are sitting in treason. You are committing misprision of treason because you're concealing it. You can say it any other way. But the Constitution is clear. We are sovereign and supreme. There's no way out of that. It was decided by our forefathers. It is in our Constitution. We accepted it. It is binding on the courts, judges and people of every state. Wake up. All you need is a simple letter withdrawing your vote. Whether it's purported, which is pretend or unagreed on, or anything else. Because none of the voting system in this country is lawful. Fact. If you are sovereign, and you are, if you are supreme, and you are, it all remains with us. Fact. A letter, worded the way I said, it's only short, only has to be signed and witnessed by your wife, adult kids, neighbour, anybody else, and you put that before this joke that you call a parliament. They cannot do I thought you were freedom of speech, mate. Blocking me from commenting is hilarious. Sovereignty never ceded. F the Commonwealth jurisdiction. Soul Shine, that's not the name you were using a minute ago. I'm not a joke, you were a clown. You are part of the Commonwealth or you don't exist in this country. Don't like that tough. There's no sovereignty ever in this country. There's no First Nation until the Commonwealth of Australia was established. If it is, prove it. So actually you are being foul and foul-mouthed on my post. Get off it. You don't like that tough. I'm not your mate. I'm either a friend of yours, or I can be your enemy. I don't care. Soul Shine with these stupid faces. You're just another troll. That's all you are. Whereas the people joined together in this country, everybody, black, white and everything else. I don't care what you want to call yourself. You can be foul-mouthed at me, but I'm not going away. We have that solution. We can use that solution. We've got to pull together. There's a heck of a lot of people who are native to this country. I was born here. I'm native. I am indigenous because I was born here. There is nowhere where I can go unless you chop me up in pieces. Even Kangaroo Jack is half white and half black. What are you going to do? Cut him down the middle? Send half to wherever his father came from? He said his father is white and his mother's black. I didn't. So is that how you're going to deal with everything? Stop the nonsense. Look at the fact we have an out. We have the right to rescind our vote. If we have the right to vote and put these people in power, the reverse applies. I'm correct. Read your Constitution. I've learnt it and studied it for a lot of years. We need out of this debacle you call the Australian government, because it doesn't exist. Where lawful and legal are different things. That's a parallel. Yeah, all right. Good on you. They are tricking us, yes, but I'm not interested in what they're tricking us. I'm interested in, I understand what you're saying. I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying we have an out. That out is to rescind our vote. If our vote puts them in, our vote takes them out. By rescinding it, you've taken out their only authority. You comprehend what I'm saying? Sure, Albo should be in jail. You want to put him there? Wait until we get rid of them all, so they can't sit and dictate policy which takes everything off everybody. Then we'll look at the proper history of this country. When I referred to the Nordic races leaving, you should look at the history of the people from New Zealand that were there before the Maoris. Then you'll find out they have it in their history who was here before. I'm not quoting nonsense. I'm trying to get you people to stop arguing about stupid things we are under the Commonwealth of England and the Commonwealth of Australia. You don't want to be? Well, suit yourself. What I'm stating is we have an out. The out is there. Write a letter. Hate them with a passion. Don't hate anyone, Susan. Hate just pulls you apart. Hate doesn't belong in our system. It just destroys it. Write the letter, send it. All we need is over 50%. They're all gone. They cannot stay there. Only we can stop these clowns taking this country. They're not only taking it from white people, they're taking it from black people. If you think it's going to be any other way, don't joke with yourself. Don't live in la la land. We have IMO, we are at war. Of course we are. And our war can be fought on paper simply by rescinding your vote. I repeat, if their authority comes from our vote, then their authority can be removed by our vote. We do not need a referendum. We do not need an election. We just need to write a letter rescinding our vote. Why? Because they are not serving us. They're serving their political parties. They're giving money away and borrowing it and saying it belongs to us. Doesn't matter. Where does the Governor-General sit in all of this? I already said it doesn't exist in law. Does not comply with the law. Does not. Nor does any of what I brought up comply with the law. A lot of suggestions are coming up. Those suggestions do not fit in with what I'm saying. I'm only saying that is the solution. You either take it up or you don't. I have had enough of listening to people say, where's the solution? I've just given it to you. Rescind your vote. You refuse to not vote at the last election because you might get a $50 fine. You rescind your vote. You can't get fined for that because you've already voted. No, you don't write to the governor. You write to the federal parliament and tell them, and then you send a copy of that letter to King Charles III, King of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Ted Murdoch, I just said, rescind to who? Wake up. Listen to what I just said. If so, there needs to be a record of rescinding votes. John Reid, no nonsense. Wake up to what I said. You are rescinding your vote to the federal parliament that claims to be the government. You are rescinding your vote to King Charles, who is above both of them. I'm not going to explain to people who ask questions. Good on you, haven't paid your rates for 4 years. Ted, you got it. Thank goodness for that. And I'm not ridiculing you, mate. Some people, it takes a bit more to sink in. We just need to rescind our vote. If they can be put there by our vote, they can be removed by our vote because we are supreme, we are sovereign, and we have the authority. And we only grant authority according to our Constitution. The rest of it does not exist. Now, I advise all you people that think because the colour of your skin or your ancestors were from one place, before you get all green and wrinkled and start arguing, history of this country isn't what you're saying. There were atrocities committed against you, I agree. Susan, no, they're not. And I don't agree with you, and I'm not going to. I'm trying not to get involved with people's little pet hates, so don't bring them out. What I'm trying to do, you can call them whatever you like. You're not going to gain anything by what you're saying, only division. Division is the problem we have. It is a division, and we don't need it. What I need is you to take on board what I said. The supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority is ours. Where is our vote come from? That supreme authority to vote them in or not. Comprehend that? The letter says, I rescind it. You put it in good faith, you got nothing, so you're rescinding it. Do you understand that? Anderson Tyler, rubbish. More disheartening, divisive nonsense. It did not exist. If it does, prove it. You won't prove it yourself, but you come on here and talk about it. Oh, look at that, he disappeared. How sad. Can you put up a draft letter? No, I'll tell you again, and you can listen to this and write it yourself. I, and your full name, a living man, I put down I, Wayne Kenneth, of the Family Glue, living man, do formally and completely rescind any form of vote derived from me, being it preferential or any other way, as none of the voting system complies with our Constitution. We don't need to put anything else. Without our authority, the Parliament has no power. Understand, all the authority comes from us. So where does the power come from? Our authority. All you have to do is comprehend that. Wayne, it's always been symbolic. No, Anderson, it's not. Put up the proof or get off here. Stop trying to disprove what I'm saying. The way you're saying it, we have no recourse in law. That's what you're trying to say. Who do you work for? Which political party? Oh. It's never been symbolic at all. And it wouldn't matter if it is. We signed up to a contract which is an enabling act to have one. We got it. We have a contract which lays out where our authority goes. Fact. Your version doesn't fit into it. Wayne, they're going to have 100 unrelated questions to send to Parliament and send to King. No, Dave, you don't want questions to them. You want a statement. A statement of your authority granted by the Constitution. Yeah, Daniel, thank you. Replay it over and over again. All you have to do is state you're a living, breathing man. You get out of this system anyway, but it doesn't matter. Supreme, absolute and uncontrollable authority, which is the only grant of power given by the people. We signed, consent was manufactured. Anderson, shut up. Stop trying to divide everything and cover up what's going on. Do you really exist, or are you just another troll? Put up or shut up. And I'm serious. I've had enough of people like you who are trying to say, oh, so it's all consent was manufactured. So what are you going to do now, Anderson? Are you going to get a gun and start shooting politicians? Because short of that, you're not going to stop them. So wake up. We signed, consent was manufactured. That's a lie. It's whereas the people of New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia and Western Australia joined together in one indissoluble federation. How did we do it? By the vote of the day, by the people who were qualified at the day. Your version is nonsense. And that's it. Can you look up who this Anderson Tyler Foz? I want to see who he is. I think he's a troll. He's just a pain. Oh, look at that. He just disappeared.
Just focus on what you're doing, darling.
I am. Now, replay my post, work out what I'm saying, stop the nonsense. We need a letter to go to the Federal Parliament and to the King saying we rescind our vote. Those people are sitting there unlawfully. If you think there's other ways of dealing with, try it. Tell us. I've been through every single thing I can find, and then I discovered we hold the ultimate authority. We can get rid of them. Just play it back, Anthony. It's all there. Just a simple letter rescinding your vote, taking away their authority to sit and exist. They haven't complied with our Constitution. We're taking back the authority. Simple as that. It's in front of you. Just take it. If you want a draft letter, put one together, send it to me and I'll have a look. It has to be short, sweet and to the point. We rescind our vote. Nothing else matters. You rescind it, they've got no more authority. They can't claim absolute authority based on their version of voting system. No, it doesn't exist that way. It only exists by the authority granted by the people. I can't make it any clearer than that, and I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to cut off now, and then I'm going to delete the people who saw fit to try and take away what I said. Read your Constitution, you'll understand what I said is correct. What you said is not. And I do not appreciate the language that's been pumped out on my page. So thank you very much. Don't put it back on.